Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category and the Fanduel app to help you win money. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Also like, subscribe to the channel, comment your suggestions or questions. We want to hear from you. How have your lineups been doing? And happy Tuesday. Alright, please whip out your cellular device and take a picture of this particular page right here. These definitions for all these icons are very important, so take a picture so it'll be easy for you to follow along in this presentation. Top 5 from tonight's slate by position. At point guard, we got Steph Curry. At shooting guard, we got Shai Alexander. Small forwards, we got Kevin Durant. Power forwards, we got Anthony Davis. And at the center position, we got Nikola Jokic. Point guards, hitters. Steph Curry had an awful shooting night last game. Fortunately, if you have faith in him, keep it. He won't have many nights like that. They need him to play well. They won that game because Toronto allowed everyone, but Curry beat the team. Beat them. That may be the case some nights, but if you are looking for a reason not to pick him, it's Brogdon. Brogdon will be solid himself. In the new year, Brogdon only have had one game under 50 FDP. He had 40 FDP instead. Solid across the board. You only have 3 hitters tonight, so he would be a solid pick. Murray is driving us crazy because he's been solid, but he can do more. He isn't looking to score as much, and that would elevate his FDP. He may have to tonight as DeRozan is out, and he would be the primary ball handler and should open up more scoring for him. Shooting guards, hitters. Harden is still too pricey for us. He has hung around high 30s and low 40s as far as FDP. Not good enough for his price tag. He could be without John Wall, so that may lead him to having to score a ton more and even assisting more. His turnovers hurt, but he is James Harden. So his scoring ability helps forget that. It's just a bad matchup versus the LA Lakers. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been unbelievable and very likely to do his usual numbers against San Antonio. Before jumping to pick him, be sure to look at our value picks in this game. Karis LeVert will have no Kyrie still, and having Durant didn't hurt his FDP much. Solid pick versus Denver. Donovan Mitchell turned the ball over several times against the Pistons. Or if he didn't turn the ball over, he would definitely have had a big night. Cleveland let Dillon Brooks do well. We imagine Utah guards will have themselves a good game as well. Small forward hitters. LeBron has gone down in price. That's because, as we know often, he may be seeing 40s in FDP. But when you cost over 10K, you are expected to exceed 45 FDP. That being said, in this game against Houston, he's probably a must-have. You're guaranteed at least 40 FDP. Kevin Durant will make that decision hard, as he is playing a Denver team that has no answer. No one does in the whole entire season. Also, without Kyrie, he will be looked to handle the ball more and be the facilitator. You pair that with his rebounding and at least 30 points as far as field goals, he could see a good FDP night. Denver isn't likely to blow them out or get blown out because they aren't the Knicks or Philly who didn't have their stars. If he doesn't sit last minute, he's definitely worth the 10K in salary. Power forward hitters, we called it. Anthony Davis would have a good game, and Christian Wood would not reach his average. Christian Wood was 13 FDP shy of it, and Anthony Davis just slightly missed his average, only playing 29 minutes. Let that sink in. They blew them out by 18. Expect a tougher game for the LA Lakers this time, but similar results between the two power forwards. We like Christian Wood's salary, but not the matchup. We love Sabonis versus Golden State. Without getting into stats and analytics, Sabonis is a better player than Siakam. Siakam had himself quite the game versus Golden State in their recent matchup. Draymond is a good defender, but Sabonis is playing out of his mind right now. He had a 2020 game versus Phoenix with DeAndre Ayton playing. Yeah, he had 20 points and 20 boards. Crazy. Don't worry about a back-to-back. He had a minus 21 and 5 3/4 versus Sacramento. If you can afford him or just go ahead and build around him, do it. Haven't missed on him yet. Centers, hitters. So let's overlook Jokic. We'll keep it that simple. The matchup is good. The matchup is good regardless of the opponent. His salary is just so ridiculous. He has to score something over 55 FDP to match his salary, which is very possible versus Brooklyn. But before deciding to put him off the top, let's examine Gobert and Andre Drummond. We like both when they aren't playing each other. They essentially provide the same rebounds. Gobert gets his hands on more blocks, while Drummond gets his hands on more steals than Gobert. And I hope I'm not butchering Rudy Gobert's name. It comes down to assists and points. Andre Drummond leads in both. Where they differ is mindset. If Drummond isn't having a good night versus his matchup, it affects his game. Don't believe us? Take time to click on his game log. You're likely to see his lowest FDP nights when he doesn't come close to scoring at or over 20 points as far as field goes. He's also very turnover prone. We like Gobert's price and his ability to defend without fouling. Very important there. Point guards value. Mike Conley is a good fit because he can fill in the stat sheet with points, assists, and steals. Jamal Murray has slid lately, but he is one of those any given night players. He can just explode. Not bad at only $7K in salary. Dennis Schroeder has played well the last two games. No John Wall would definitely help him. Good at his price. We aren't completely sold yet. Monte Morris is good for his average. If the game does get out of hand, he's likely to gain more. We don't see this getting out of hand. Patty Mills will also benefit from no DeRozan. He also scores his average consistently. If you need a filler at the point guard position, he's not bad at his price. Shooting guard value. Victor Oladipo versus Wiggins. We like Oladipo to have a much more efficient and well-rounded game. Diallo has been sneaky good after being sneaky bad. We aren't sure he'll pull off 4 steals versus San Antonio, but his ability to score into the 20s could bump his FDP. Dotson has come from injury and he's been solid. Should make for a good value pick. Lonnie Walker was the most beneficial from DeRozan's absence. Look for another solid game from him. Gary Harris is good for his average or slightly more. Taylor Horton Tucker has played well lately and seen more touches of the ball. Not bad for his price. Plus, KCP has been hurt. Small forwards value. Best picks here are Keldon Johnson, Osman, and Holiday. Oubre just hasn't produced enough. Rudy Gay is solid for 20 or slightly more regarding FDP. Barton is a roller coaster, too risky with all the options available. Power forward hitters. Aldridge has been playing well for his price. Not bad for value, especially without DeRozan. Draymond Green, was 1 assist away from a triple-double. He still does everything in small doses for Golden State. O'Neal is just that all-around option and won't get anything crazy, but if You need that value pick. Very much worth it. Between Nance and McGee, Nance sees a ton more minutes. We thought Houston would provide a good game, but he slumped last game, so Nance is the better option. Centers value. This isn't who's on the slide, but who isn't. I know you see Wiseman, Cousins, and Harrell and think, what are they doing? Harrell has to be consistent before we keep featuring him. He's on a two-game solid streak. Wiseman has hit the rookie wall. Not a favorable matchup against Miles Turner. Cousins either can't stay in the game, sees the minutes or whatever the day brings. We expect big things, but so far 2 ejections and a couple of games where he doesn't even see 20 minutes. These three are best for value in the center. Holford is the cheapest if you need salary for other players, but if you want good value, Turner may have the better matchup. His blocking ability makes him appealing, especially versus a rookie. Starting 5 players we believe you should start your lineup with. You got Mike Conley at the point. You got Dotson at the shooting guard. Lonnie Walker at the shooting guard. Kevin Durant at the small forward. And Rudy Gobert at the center. That's a good average for salary as well. First mock lineup number 1. Feel free to use this mock lineup as a base and substitute players who you see fit to get your own taste to it. Moving on. Second one, mock lineup hitter by position. This is also a good lineup. Third lineup. This is also a very, very good lineup. Value heavy. Fourth lineup. Mock lineup using the 2 most expensive players. So you got Jokic way at the bottom. And you got James Harden. So if all these role players do well, we know what Sabonis is going to do, but if Trey Lyles and Cedi Osman and Damian Lee, Kent Bazemore and Dennis Schroeder, Mike Conley, if they all have good games, this lineup could potentially win you a lot of money because we know what Jokic and James Harden is going to do. All right, this is the last lineup. Be sure to like, comment, and please share the video. And also, most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for choosing to watch another episode of the Pickpocket DFS.